We are live. What is up, y'all? We are live. Okay. Looks like fish out of water. Where you at? I was kind of just waiting for someone to show up to the chat. Welcome. Missed you last week. Kind of stunk having to have it on a different night. Made me have to wait longer than a week. Hold up, have to get my headphones. Uh-oh, I must be real loud. Yeah, I missed not getting to do a live stream last Saturday. I ended up not going out of town too, and I knew that going into Thursday, but since I'd already told you guys that I was going live Thursday instead of Saturday, I decided to go ahead and stick it out and do Thursday, which I enjoyed the live stream Thursday night. It just kind of stunk having to wait over a week. Flynn's Fish Forum. Hello. Hey, Flynn. B-Stag says, hi, Jeffroz FishKeeping. How you doing today? I'm doing good. I got all the water changes done today in my son's room, and all the water changes done in my fish room in my office. So it was a good day. Found some new baby plecos today in my son's 20-gallon tank, some albinos, and it was a good day. Getting snow here, but I just stayed in all day. I was gonna do some start some of my summer tubs and get some water in them outside today and get some filters in them and get them start cycling and stuff, and the snow came. We got like 3 inches of snow today. So Fish Out of Water says, okay, I'm good and glad I made it today. I'm glad you did too. Missed you last week. V-Stag says, glad to hear it. Me too. All water changes done. New tank for breeding cycling. Sweet. Yeah, it was kind of out of place finding those baby plecos today, because we saw some eggs in one of the caves earlier in the week, or like at least like a week ago, and my son thought that he saw some wigglers before he left the other night, and today I was putting his guppies. We pulled his guppies out last week and did the aquarium co-op brew, because he was losing a couple of guppies here and there, and we took them out for a week of quarantine, and I was putting them back in the tank, and I just looked on the back wall and there was 2 probably 1/4 inch long albino bristlenose babies, and it was just like, whoa. Even if I did see them, they shouldn't be that big yet, you know. So they've had another hatching that we didn't know about. So kind of cool though. I texted him a picture. He's at his mom's this weekend, and I texted him a picture, so that was kind of cool. And yeah, I can't think of anything else really that interesting that happened today. It's always nice to get surprises like that though. Fish Out of Water. Oop, retracted. Something to do with having problems with your betas. Let's see who else is here. How are you doing today, Flynn, if you're still around? Yeah, other than the snow, I just stayed in and watched some basketball today. V-Stag says, yeah, great surprise, congrats. Yeah, thank you. Fish Out of Water aquariums. I've been having problems with my beta eating. Really don't know. I've kept a beta as recent as, you know, for like, I think we don't have any betas right now, but how many days, Fish Out of Water? How long has it been going? Flynn's Fish Forum says, I'm good, and you? I'm doing really good. Just stayed in all day and was lazy. I didn't make any videos today. I've got a couple of videos to make, but I've got videos already scheduled for this Monday and Thursday and the following Monday and Thursday. I got all my laundry done, and I just kind of, well, I did do water changes, that's work, but other than that, I just lazed around today. Jonathan Dale, oh yeah, Jeff, yeah. Fish out of water aquariums. He acts fine, but he's very picky. All I can get him to eat is bloodworms. Been a week. Ooh, I've heard of people. I don't ever feed bloodworms. I've heard of fish getting kind of picky on other foods if you feed bloodworms too much, or maybe if it was live bloodworms. I might be wrong there, but I think if I remember right, I've heard of people saying not to feed bloodworms too often because your fish can be picky. As far as all my fish go, I try to feed them the same, you know, tetracolor, you know, the granules, and then as far as all my plecos and shrimp go, I'm always changing up their food. And you know, the fish, when I feed that rapashi, like that stuff that kind of sets up into a gel, it's a powder, and then you mix it with boiling water. Whenever I do that stuff, the fish pick at that, but they never ever complain when it comes to tetracolor granules. I mean, all of my fish have never, and the nice thing about it is you can crush it up with your thumb and your forefinger, and your fry can even eat it, and it's cheap too. But yeah, you might, I don't know for sure, but fish out of water, you might have a betta that is getting hooked on bloodworms. I don't know that for sure. And it's been a week. Fish out of water, I seen a thing not to feed them for 3 days, then feed him the pellets. Yeah, that might work. I can't remember. We was just feeding ours what was called betta pellets. It was like for bettas. But if you don't have any of those tetracolor granules, I saw those. I mean, a lot of people do them, but Lucas from LR Brett's Aquatics said one time that's all he feeds all of his fish. And you know, from watching him over and over again, I thought I'm gonna get some of them, and every one of my fish and every one of my tanks loved them and just scarfed them up every time. So I started doing it, and I found the ones that settle to the bottom, the shrimp love them and the plecos love them. So you might get some of those. There's like an odor to them that they can't resist. They just love them. And as far as nutritional value goes, I don't know how they compare to like rapashi and stuff like that, but I feed them. You know, I've got big cans of it in every fish room. Fish out of water aquariums, yes, that's what I have. He always ate them, but then just started not wanting them, so not sure. I'll see how it goes. Yeah, very well could be that he is getting hooked on the bloodworms, and I don't know. Probably try to do some research just in case that could possibly be what it is, and try to do some research on, you know, I mean, the not feeding for 3 days is a good way to try it. If you haven't tried that yet, that's a pretty good idea. That's a start anyhow. And other than that, I don't know. Sometimes on animals, it's just mind over matter. You know, if he had ate those before, you would think that it's probably just he loves the taste of the bloodworms more, so you just have to beat them. You know, they get hungry enough and they'll eat. So don't feed too much. I'm assuming it's one betta. don't feed too much when you wait the 3 days, and if he doesn't eat it within a certain amount of time, take the food out and wait another day to feed again. But you got to kind of be careful too, because then what happens is you finally give in and give him bloodworms. But that is an interesting issue that I haven't ever really had before, unless they were sick. But it doesn't sound like your fish is sick because it's eating bloodworms. So if it was sick and its appetite was all messed up, it wouldn't even be eating the bloodworms. So anybody tell me how the audio and quality of the video picture is tonight? Nobody has complained about audio or video, but I just kind of want to see if anybody in the chat could just say one way or the other. All is good. Thanks, Fish Out of Water. So what did you guys think of my videos this week? Has everybody got to watch them this week? I'm having troubles remembering even what I had this week. Looks like, oh, it was the Subwassertang versus the Java Moss, and the filtration in the fish room video. Those were kind of cool, kind of fun to make. The filtration video one, loved the filter video. Yeah, that one was kind of fun to make. I had that idea of that. It was kind of poor timing with all the gun stuff on the internet right now and everything, but I had that idea of that machine gun sound effect, and I spent hours upon hours finding pictures of filters and stuff, and I put that all together, and I thought that was kind of fun. I've seen some YouTubers do that before, and I thought, man, that'd be kind of fun to do with filters. And you know, I've wanted to talk about it for a long time, because a lot of people hate hang on the back filters, and they use canister filters. Well, I was using canister filters 20 years ago, so to me, you know, back then I wasn't using sponge filters and hang on the back filters. I was using canister filters, and you know, if I would have been using canister filters like I do with my hang on the back filters now, I'd probably like it more. But the way I was doing it is I had some kind of a little mesh canister on the inside that had carbon in it with just a filter sock around them, and the canister filters always seemed pretty expensive, although I have seen some people getting some deals as of late, getting some type of canister filter like that white one with the green top, and I can't remember the brand, but like as cheap as 25 bucks this week on coupons and stuff, which I thought, wow, that'd be almost worth getting. But yeah, I just felt like I had that video idea for quite a while, and it was kind of fun to make, and it works for me, but still, like, sometimes it feels like it's overkill, but it's pretty clear water. But yeah, I had a lot of fun making that video. And then the other one, the Subwassertang, I hadn't ever used it before, and I got it because I thought that it looked like it was pretty awesome. I'd been watching this YouTuber Mark from Mark's Shrimp Tanks for the longest time, and I never had caught a video of his where he said what it was, and but I loved it. I was like, what kind of moss is that? I was thinking it was some kind of a Java moss, and finally I saw a video where he said it was Subwassertang, and I'd heard of Subwassertang before but never really researched it. So I grabbed some of it, and I grabbed some more after I did that video because I really like it. It's a slow grower, but should be pretty nice in the shrimp tanks. Fish Out of Water, I use Sun canister filter, like 50 bucks, have 2 of them, works great. Cool. I've never heard of Sun. But like I was trying to say in the the video, you know, it's not always the name brands, you know, and stuff. You got to be careful what you buy out there, because like that Dustin from Dustin's Fish Tank, his, and I hate even saying this because I don't know for sure the model, but I'm pretty sure it is a Fluval canister filter. It's one of those real nice new ones that are expensive, and it has gave him issues 2 different times in his daughter's aquarium in her room. And the last time he went out of town, he came back and it was something to do with the seal brakes on it, and then you know, there's no flow, and she lost some fish. So, you know, if you pay $50 for one and it works, that's all there is to it. No brainer. Fish Out of Water says, I think that's what it is. So Sun is what you think the brand is. I don't even remember what kind of canister filter I used to use. And, you know, honestly, my hang on the backs, which if you watch the video you know, but the Tetra Whisper ones, man, they're not quiet at all. I mean, you can probably hear them in the background right now. I know whenever you go and watch this video, whenever I do the opening scene where it says waiting on Jeffroz FishKeeping, I know you can hear them in the background. And I've thought lots of times about just unplugging them before I do this live stream, and I even thought about that today, but here we are, I'm in here and forgot to do it. So it just is what it is. I'm like 5 feet away from my aquariums right now, and the Aqua Clear one is really quiet though. Now when the water level gets down, there's nothing to do, or there's nothing that you can do about the water sound, but as far as the little you know, impeller and all that kind of stuff, the way they built it, it is silent. It is so quiet. So really enjoy that because of the sound, you know. Do you, Fish Out of Water, do you use any kind of hang on the back filters at all too? Because I don't use any canister filters, but now that you say that you got those for $50, that make $50, that makes me think about maybe getting one and trying it on a tank. You know, like my 40-gallon breeder in my office, that'd be a perfect one because it's on an old antique desk, and underneath the desk it'd be a big spot where you could put like a sump or something like that, you know. And I could maybe use it in my outdoor tubs too. I'm kind of contemplating right now what to do with those, because I'm going to do 2, and I'm going to do them outside. And originally I was just going to do sponge filtration, and but I've got an over the like I've got that trickle filter. It's like a sump that's over the water down in the basement right now over one of my tubs that I'm going to use, and it's like, should I revamp that and come up with a design to do over the water sump that filters both of them to keep my biomedia cycled this summer when I'm doing the tubs? But I'm not sure what I want to do yet. I might just do the trickle filter that I'm doing now over just one of them and do like a test. I mean, I know which one's going to be cleaner water, but see which one of them breeds better, because in one of them I'm going to do livebearers in both of them, but it's going to be different species in each one. V-Stag says, I have one hang on the back filled with crushed coral for media. Oh, that's a great idea. Do you have it like in a media bag or something like that? I'm sure you do, because that crushed coral would probably get down into the impeller, I would say. I've got one hang on the back that I've just got lava rock in, that it does good too, but seems like every once in a while I've got to dump that lava rock out because stuff gets in between it, and the ones where I've used like the ceramic bio rings that are in the bag, that bag helps stop some of that stuff that can go down and get into the impeller. But that crushed coral, that's a good idea. That would even be a great idea for like a shrimp tank, because that calcium in that coral and that water running over the coral, because lots of times when I put crushed coral in my tanks, I just, you know, sprinkle it down over the substrate, and then you know, there's a powder that goes up into the water that gets filtered through, which, you know, probably helps too. But then that coral's just sitting down at the bottom where there's not as much flow down at the bottom. So V-Stag, that is a great idea. I might do that on one of my shrimp tanks. Be real easy to do. Cool, that's a great idea. I hadn't even ever heard of that before, so had never thought of it either. But they would have tons of surface area, and they're really like absorbent, you know. That coral, you can just feel that it has pores, and I guarantee you that it would be a good biomedia. I use crushed coral because I use RO water. It helps with the calcium. Yeah, that is great. So you could probably, with that water that you're doing there, you could probably even do crystal shrimp. And you know, if I remember right, since you haven't done shrimp before, I would probably recommend doing cherries first. But with someone like you that's already been working with RO water, you know, all you basically have to do is you know, look at the parameters that this shrimp that you're getting requires, and if you're already able to test your water, which you are, because if you're using RO water, you have to remineralize it, so you could probably go straight to crystal shrimp, you know, the Caridina, and you'd probably do really good with it. It'd be interesting to see. My son has been after me to start with the Caridina shrimp, but man, I haven't dabbled with remineralizing water at all, you know, and you know, I really just want to be ready for it before I even try to tackle it. But they're beautiful shrimp. I mean, it's crazy on how pretty they are. I do have some new shrimp that I got that'll be in a video coming up that are really nice. But the Caridinas, they're just all kinds of different stuff. I also use Sea Chem, Equilibrium, and Coop Easy Green to remineralize. Yeah, I use Easy Green in probably 75% of my tanks, and it does have all kinds of stuff in it, so it can help with your plants. Plus, you know, and I'd heard that, but hadn't really got into what it really has in it, which is kind of sad if you think about it. You're putting something in your tank that you don't really know what the minerals are, but you know, I know it's safe for fish. So Fish Out of Water says you need to do a live fish room tour. Yeah, that's a good idea, and I've thought about that before. I do have an iPhone, and I think on the iPhones, when you're doing a live video, I'm pretty positive that it does the video like sideways, so it's like the narrow version. Where's my camera here? It's the narrow version, and there's no way to do it horizontal to make it fill the whole screen, and that's the only reason why I haven't tried it. But you never know. We get enough people on these live streams where we're going good and we got a good following once a week. I might start throwing in another live stream during the week and start doing a mobile one, and start doing some kind of a tank spotlight once a week or something, you know, because I do like Lucas from LR Brett's. I love his live streams. You know, he'll get up and he'll walk around in the fish room, and I love that. Fish Out of Water says sounds good to me. Yeah, I've thought about it, you know, it's just one of those type of deals where I want to do one of these once a week where we sit down and we're you know, just focused and talking about how our week went in the fish room, and then you know, maybe throw in one of those mobile ones here and there, you know. And basically what it's going to be is I'm going to have to test out the phone once or twice and just see how it goes. Just kick one in here and there and see if anybody shows up, and if they do, fine, and then maybe start doing them once a week. Candy Overall says, hi Jeff. Hello Candy, welcome to the live stream. Fish Out of Water says, hey Candy. How was your week went? I've seen you in the chats all week long, but other than that, how's your weekend been? Steenfot Aquatics? Oh God. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna get booed out of here. Steenfot has all caps, Jeffroz. Hey Bob, thanks for stopping in. V-Stag, Sea-Chem Equilibrium is just powdered minerals like calcium. It is finer than crushed coral, so it breaks down faster. Cool. Yeah, Fish Out of Water, Bob showed up. Isn't that crazy? It's like, how did it show up for him? Candy must have put it somewhere. Candy says her week was okay, thanks. Well, okay is better than bad, you know. I was ready for the weekend. I wasn't ready for this snow, though. I mean, the weather has been so nice. I was going to maybe get out and start some summer tubs today, and we got like 3 inches of snow. V-Stag, Superstar's in the house, I know. Even if he stopped by for a second, that's cool. You know, I mean, yeah, so... Superstar indeed. But yeah, I was gonna do some or at least get the summer tubs out there, start organizing for them, because I'm gonna actually try to do them on a covered porch. I don't, you know, my backyard I think would be total complete sunlight throughout the whole day, and I want to control the sunlight, and I was going to start doing that today, and the snow changed my mind. So I just did water changes in 2 of my fish rooms today, and laid around and watched some NCAA basketball, which the last one I watched earlier was crazy good. That Loyola Chicago 11 seed beat Kansas State, which Kansas State, who did they beat the other night? They beat somebody really good the other night, and I thought they're going to be hard to beat. I mean, their defense the other night was great. Loyola Chicago, Cinderella team, is going to the Final Four. So that's what I did today, but my week was okay as well, and I was glad for the weekend. Who else is in here? I seen Flynn earlier. He just kicked in for a second. And I think I'm pretty much all caught up on the chat, on the crazy chat. Hopefully, be right back. BRB. Fish Out of Water Aquarium says I'm working 7 days right now. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't miss those days. I had a job for a while. Well, I say a while, for many, many years, where for like 15 years I was on call 24/7 every other week. And there was weeks when you would go 2 weeks straight working, because it was like something every night. It was an emergency call. I worked for a company that did home oxygen, and yeah, it was like on those weeks whenever you were on call, and it was the busy sick season, you know, when people were getting sick all the time. you had just sat down to eat and you'd get called out, or you'd get called out when you just laid down for bed, or you'd get to sleep for just a little while. So I feel your pain, man, working 7 days a week right now. I probably could work 7 days a week with my job, but I shut it off. Friday night, I shut it off. I make my own schedule, so if I've got a lot of workload going, I just double it up throughout the week and just work late. And yeah, 7 days a week is tough. Very, very tough. I am glad those years are over for me. So what do you do if you don't mind? It's kind of hard to explain, but I guess basically I sell high-end power wheelchairs. So if you guys know this Stephen Hawking that just passed away last week, those power wheelchairs for people who are really, you know, have really bad disabilities where their body is all contorted and everything. I specialize in measuring them and coming up with the right type of equipment for them, and then I order it and bring it to them and fit them for it and all of that kind of stuff. So Turbofish is in the house. What is up, Fish Fam? What's up, Turbofish? Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the link, Candy. Yeah, thanks, Candy. This live stream here, Turbofish, since you're new, I do it every Saturday night at 8 p.m. I tried to find a night that your other aquarium YouTubers aren't live streaming, and for the most part, this is just, you know, a bunch of the Fish Fam getting together and just talking about what happened in the fish room this week. And you know, there's anything you want to talk about or any issues you're having right now, there's some people in the chat that can help you, or I can help you. And it's just Fish Fam, laid back live stream. Yeah, thanks, Candy. It is. It's really fulfilling. I work with everyone from kids all the way up to the elderly, you know. So like, for instance, one of my most extreme cases was the University of Iowa called me one time, and they had a kid that was a conjoined twin that had had a separation surgery, and the only place that they could separate them was at the pelvis. So since this little girl was missing a hip, I had to build a seat for a stroller in order for her to set upright, because since she didn't have a hip, you know, she was kind of leaning all the time. So I ordered some stuff, a liquid that you mix a couple of liquids together and it turns into a foam, and then I ordered some softer sheet foam and I poured it all into this bag and set her down into it, and then you know, added the layer of soft foam over the top of it, and I built a little insert. And that was one of my most difficult ones, you know, because this little girl was just a baby, and this was in her sensory months of her life, and it really was dependent on me getting this this little seat fit right for her, and it was pretty fulfilling. And those little kids, they don't know that there's anything wrong with them, so they're always happy, you know, and they love life, and they don't think anything's wrong with them, you know. Some of your adults that got into an accident that are paralyzed, those are some difficult ones, but you know, you just understand that they're going through a difficult time. So Candy Overall says, that's amazing, great job, Jeff. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is, it's very fulfilling. I think in a lot of people's jobs, they tend to forget sometimes how fulfilling it really is, and then you meet this little superstar that they're always smiling, and they don't act like there's anything even wrong with them at all, and then they just touch you, and you're like, wow, I really have a awesome job. So yeah, that's what my day job is. And you know, it takes spurts where you work more with kids. Like during the school year, a lot of these area education therapists, they call you into these schools, and you know, during the summer it kind of slows down a little bit, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. Fish Out of Water says very awesome, and Turbo Fish says we should connect. I manufacture candy for a living. I think we can make someone's day. Yeah, and I also have to keep dog biscuits laying around because whenever I go to homes that have puppies, you know. So you manufacture candy. Cool. You meet people from every walk of life in the fish fam, you know. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And it looks like you subscribed to me. Thank you, Turbo Fish. Appreciate that. There's a video that I made before I really dedicated my channel to fish keeping, and I made it last May, and just recently, for some reason out of the blue, it has just went crazy, and it's almost to 9,000 views, and it just blew my mind. The other day, I think in the last week or 2 weeks, it's got 3,000 views, and I was like, holy cow. So it's a fishing related video, so I think it's probably got to do with all these guys that are hunters out there that are getting ready to start going fishing. They're looking up stuff on YouTube, and my video just took off. So Turbo Fish says love the four-legged fish fam members too. LOL. Yeah, I've got a couple that got a big surprise today. So this morning, of course, it was cool, and I took my dogs outside to go potty, and I've got a pit bull male and I've got a Chihuahua female, and they went outside and did their business. But then this afternoon, I needed to take them outside, and we got like 3 inches of snow since they had been outside this morning, and they ran outside like they were all excited to go to the bathroom, and then right when they got on my back porch, they hit the brakes, and was just like, what in the heck happened? Because we've had spring weather for the last week or two, you know, and they were like blown away at the snow. Bob from Steamfod Aquatic says fishing videos do insanely well. Yeah, I did a lot of fishing videos last summer, and this one was one of those where I made a type of a fish bait that I had seen on YouTube actually, and I just named it New Catfish Bait Does It Work, and I didn't catch any fish in the video, but you know, it had already been doing good, and then just all of a sudden last week it just blew up, and I'm like just less than 100 views away from 9,000 views on it. So kind of crazy. I know that since you're on here, I know that since that partnership, my partnership was taken away because I'm not 1,000 subscribers yet. Since that happened, my views have went up. It's like they're promoting me more, and my subscribers have went up. It was just like overnight too. So February 20th or whenever it was. So I think, you know, I saw this one video where the CEO or MBO or whatever he is of YouTube was saying the reason why they did that is because there was a lot of people out there that had multiple channels, and they would upload the same video to multiple channels, and there was just a lot of, you know, people that were under 1,000. They just thought that there was just a bunch of junky, you know, YouTubers out there that they wanted to get rid of all of that, and they really did care for us small YouTubers. But I kind of believe that after the 20th, I think is when it was in February, it was just like instantly. I think since the 20th of last month I've got 100 subscribers, and that's a pretty big jump for a small channel like mine. And then my views have went up. I mean, last year I think I averaged like 3,000 views a month, and this month I've already got up to like 8,000, maybe a little bit more, but 8,000 views this month. So I think they really are pushing my channel a little bit as far as, I mean, not like big time, but more, you know. Turbo fish, once the water warms up, I'll be on the river and lake side almost every day after work. Love fishing and fishing videos. Walleye, I think, is my favorite one to catch around here. Tasty too. I love the taste of walleye. I landed one time. We were actually walleye fishing with my ex-wife's grandpa, and he caught them all the time. There's a lake pretty close to where I live, probably about an hour from where I live, that it's got a lot of walleye in it, and he caught them all the time. And I mean, I've ate them and they are delicious. Walleye are a good eating fish, and I got it all the way up to the boat, and I just must have not had him hooked good enough, but he was a fighter. They fight tremendously, or at least this one did. I don't know how much you walleye fish, but it was a fight. It's kind of like trout fishing, you know. Trout really do fight. They're a lot of fun to fish. I've caught a lot of trout. There were some trout streams close to where I lived when I was growing up that you know, I did a lot of trout fishing, and that's kind of what this walleye was. So I hear you, Turbo Fish. Candy Overhaul says, you'll get there. Better to grow organically, in my opinion. That's correct. And I think that is, and you know, the subscriber, you know, getting more subscribers could be because I finally dedicated to, you know, being consistent on my channel. Like, you know, I upload every Monday and Thursday ever since, like, I think the third week of January, somewhere around in there. I upload every Monday and Thursday, plus, you know, this is my 5th week of doing live streams. You know, there's a lot of things that I'm trying to do right now to grow my channel, and I think now that I am actually, you know, focused on fish keeping and dedicated to the fish keeping hobby, I think my subscribers, you know, are coming because of that. I really do believe that. So yeah, I agree with you, Candy. Turbo Fish, they're strangely attracted to guppies. Granted, I catch a lot of other fish with them too, but the ratio is higher on walleye. Probably upsets some fish keepers. Sorry. I had never thought of that before, but excuse me. You know, we were using these rigs that he had made that had like maybe 6 hooks on them, and we were using live minnows. You know, minnows, there's feeder fish guppies, you know. I would say though, you know, it's really kind of a good idea. Some of those fancy guppies with some of the colors, you know, excuse me, would really attract fish, I'm sure. My son, or my youngest son, he has that get hooked to every fish. He just stays, you know, he just gets attached to them. He names almost every one of his fish, and I mean, he's got feeder guppies in his guppy tank, and he just loves them and falls in love with them, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with it, but, you know, like, he's got a piranha that he's had for a couple of months that we really need to buy some feeder goldfish or some feeder guppies to, and that's going to be tough for him to do, I think, which is odd. Dank Tanks is in the house. What up, Dank? Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. We are just doing, I do a live stream every Saturday night at 8 p.m. and we just all get together and just chat it up. And it's just the fish fam chatting it up. And Bob from Steamfod Aquatics was here. Mile High Plecos isn't here tonight, which he usually is. And somebody else that's usually here. But Michael from Mile High Plecos is, I think this might be his only one that he's ever missed, but I think he missed Bob's the other night too, and he's been really busy. He could have forgot too. But I'm sure I'll hear from him after the live stream. He always sends me an email whenever he misses. There's my boy Dank. Oh, Candy says, Dank, how about the massive school of rummy nose on Joel's video today? I love that. at first when he poured them in, they were really bright, but they started coloring up before the end of the video. And 250, he only lost one, which is good. But it was cool to see Joel step out of his comfort zone and buy a large amount of fish like that, you know, because usually in his larger tanks he still, you know, understocks. He believes in the rule of just understocking and everything, and it was cool to see him do that, because I mean his filtration is out of this world. You know, he'll be fine in the tank. I can't remember which tank he has those in, but it's a large aquarium, so he'll be good. Dank tanks, I'm down. Man, I love rummies. What you think? Turbofish, I messaged Joel and told him how rad that was. Yes, that was cool. He got a, I mean, I love rummy nose tetras. They're beautiful. I love all of the tetras. I even would like to get some for this 40-gallon breeder of mine that's got some dark substrate. I'd even like to get some of the black ones. Dank tanks, I bet he didn't pay $3 a piece. LOL. Yeah, it looked like, I don't know that he got them from Aquarium Co-op, but it seems like I did see a video not too long ago from Corey of an unboxing that he did have some rummy nose tetras. So Joel could have shot this video a while ago and got them from him, but I'm betting that they're from the same supplier because the bags look the same as what Corey has, or from Corey's supplier. So yeah, I bet he didn't pay $3 a piece for them either. Heather Varuna Aquatic says hi. Welcome, Heather. I guess I should have shut my cell phone off. He didn't get them from the co-op. Oh, insider info. Yeah, the Sarah bag. And it could have been from a different supplier as well. I mean, it's not like that supplier's got the rights to that bag. I was just assuming that he got them from Corey. And if he didn't, he probably got them from the same supplier as what I was assuming, because the area that they live are pretty close. But Heather, since you are new here, I do a live stream every Saturday night at 8 p.m. and we just get together and we just chat about fish room stuff that happened in the fish room this week. And there's pretty much not anybody else live streaming at 8 o'clock on Saturday night, so that's why I chose that time. And it's easier for me because I have a little bit more time on the weekends to set up. Last week I had to do one on Thursday because I was going to be going out of town, but this is like the best night for me to do them, and there's nobody else really going live right now. Heather says, I am new. I found you thanks to Candy and I subbed. Good to meet. Thanks, Heather. I appreciate it. Yeah, Candy is helping me out here, and I appreciate that, Candy. Thanks a lot. And I guess, since we're at it, because we're coming up close to the hour mark, make for sure to either like or dislike this stream. It kind of helps me out a little bit. You know, before I started these live streams, you know, there was no way to show YouTube that I had anyone, you know, just views doesn't do it. You know, you got to have some interaction, and these chats help with that, and these likes or dislikes help with that, so I appreciate that. Dank Tank says Turbo sent me. Thanks, Turbo. Yeah, everybody's connected somehow. I've been looking for some places on Facebook. I did find one today that has a lot of people's live streams on it. I think it's called Aquarium Livestream Info or something like that. And I tagged him in a post from my personal Facebook, but I think next time what I'll do is I'll send him a message. And I mean, they talk like you could actually post it yourself if you wanted to in the rules. So I thought about doing that, but I don't like doing that. It'd be nicer if it was from them sharing it, but Echo just started. Uh-oh. I don't know what that could be. Maybe my phone. Yeah, you might refresh it, Candy, because I've got all my sound shut off on all my stuff. So it's like the old CB radio echo. LOL. Oh, great. V-Stag's hearing it too, and Turbofish as well. My stream health is good. I don't really know. That's aggravating. Well, maybe that is a good time to stop. We are getting close to the hour mark here. I just don't really know what to do. I like to be at the Twilight Zone. Oh, it's better now? Okay, good. I don't know what happened there. Could have been my stream health did drop down for a little bit. Well, we're at the hour mark here. I appreciate everybody that shared this and got the word out. Make for sure and come back next Saturday at 8 p.m. Central Time. And I appreciate everybody that came in and everybody that's trying to help me out here. I really appreciate it. And I also upload videos every Monday and Thursday. I upload mine at 7 a.m. every time, so that some of my, the last time I checked on that, most of my subscribers were the type of people that have coffee in the morning. So I thought I'll upload mine at 7 in the morning so people that are having their coffee in the morning can watch my videos. So whenever I'm making my videos, I'm thinking about you drinking your coffee. Anyhow, The Twilight Zone is literally my wife's favorite show of all time, Turbofish. That is funny. Well, thanks for coming along, guys. We'll see you guys again next Saturday at 8 p.m. Please don't forget. And have a great week in the fish room. And we'll see you next Saturday. Thanks for stopping by.